ever pondered how to make web applications interactive? The answer lies in event handling in JavaScript. It's an essential concept that enables us to respond to user interactions like clicks, key presses, and mouse movements, executing specific code in response to these events. To kick things off, we'll discuss adding event listeners. The addEventListener method allows us to attach an event handler function to an element. It takes two arguments, the event type and the event handler function. Here's a simple example. Imagine a button on a web page, which we'll call myButton. In JavaScript, we can get a reference to this button using document.getElementById, myButton. Now we can add an event listener to this button that logs button clicked to the console every time the button is clicked. Next, we have event handler functions. These are the functions that get called when the specified event occurs. You can define these functions inline, right inside the addEventListener method, or separately. Here's an example where we define the functions separately. First, we define a function called handleClick that logs button clicked to the console. Then, we add this function as an event handler for the click event on our button. But what if we want to stop listening to an event? That's where removing event listeners comes in. We can use the removeEventListener method to achieve this. It requires the same arguments as addEventListener, the event type and the event handler function. For instance, in the handleClick function, we can remove the event listener for the click event on our button. Lastly, we have the event object. When an event occurs, an event object is automatically passed to the event handler function. This object contains information about the event, such as the type of event, the target element, and any additional data relevant to the event. For example, we can log the target element to the console every time our button is clicked. To summarize, event handling in JavaScript involves adding event listeners to elements, defining event handler functions that execute when these events occur, removing event listeners when they're no longer needed, and using the event object to get more information about the events. By mastering these concepts, you can create dynamic and interactive web applications that respond to a wide range of user interactions.